Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up an AI voice agent for all types of real estate agents that can answer all of their property questions, can recommend properties, and can also book callers in for viewings if they want to view the property. Now, the back end is going to be this AI agent, which is built on N8N, and the voice agent is going to be built over here on VAPI, in which it's going to be connected to N8N, so we're able to search through the real estate agent's properties, and we're able to use the booking tools so we can get them booked directly into the real estate agent's calendar. So without further ado, let's get into a demo so you can see this working.
Hello, this is Red Rock Real Estate. How can I help?
Hi, I was just looking at your property 1234 West Heimer Road. Could you tell me a little bit more about that property, and also tell me exactly how many square feet does that property have?
The property at 1234 Westheimer Road has 3 beds, 2 baths, and is 1,650 square feet. It's priced at $325,000. It's an updated townhouse near the Galleria with an oat-out and a private patio.
Okay,
Anything else I
perfect.
can help with?
No, that seems perfect. Can you book me in for a viewing for that property? That would be helpful, please.
Sure. I'd be happy to help with that. I just need a few details. 1, your full name. 2, your phone number. 3, your email address. 4, the day you'd like to view the property. 5, the time you prefer. Once I have all that info, I'll get it booked for you.
Yeah, so my name is John. My phone number is 083-314-5799. My email address is foluilori@gmail.com. And the day and time, preferably tomorrow at 2 p.m., would be perfect for me.
Got it. I've got you down for the viewing at 1234 Westheimer Road tomorrow at 2 p.m. The agent will reach out shortly to confirm. Anything else I can help with?
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so we seen there that the voice agent over on VAPI was able to trigger this AI agent twice. The first time it used this search properties Google sheet to find the properties, all of our properties that we had, and it identified the one that the user was asking about, which was this property. Then second time around, it triggered the voice agent, and we didn't see it, but it triggered this. Firstly, it added them to a Google Calendar for the time that they wanted to view the property. Secondly, it sent a message over to the real estate agent to let them know that a new lead has booked a viewing. And thirdly, it responded back to the webhook on VAPI to let the person know that they're booked in for that viewing. So we can now jump over to email, and we can check the email that we just received. So you can see here, new booking for 123 Westheimer Road. Hi, a new viewing has been scheduled for this property. The details are John, his email, the date is tomorrow at 2 p.m. And we can now jump over here to our calendar, and we can see over here on our calendar at 2 p.m. we have a booking in which the AI agent has put in. It has used the location on this to put in the actual address, and it's also used the description down here to say viewing request by John, phone not provided. So if there was a phone number provided, it would have put it in here. So that's a full build. We're going to go through this exactly step by step how to build this, and by the end of this video I'll show you exactly where you can download this for completely free. You don't have to sign up for a course or any of that. I'll just leave a link below so you can download this whole build for yourself. But firstly, let's jump straight into this, and we need to jump over here to VAPI, and we need to build out the actual base of this voice agent. Now, to build a voice agent on VAPI, firstly, obviously you're going to have to sign up, sign into an account. Then you'll have to create a new assistant over here. So you'll come over here, give this assistant a name. Maybe you can call it real estate agent or real estate assistant. We have our one here, which is called real estate assistant up here. Now, when you're first brought to a assistant, so if I create a new one called test, create an assistant, you can see you are first brought to this page, which is basically a blank slate to give you to build your voice agent. You initially have to pick a provider, and this provider is essentially which AI model do you want to respond to these questions. So when a user asks a question, which AI model is going to process that and create a response. So for us, I tend to come over here to the one that we have built. I tend to use OpenAI GPT-4 or Mini Cluster. That's the quickest one. It's the cheapest, but it tends to do the job at a good enough scale, so it's able to respond back with decently good answers. Now, the thing about voice agents is typically there's two things you have to weigh out. Firstly, it's latency, which is this number here. which means how slow is the AI at responding. So 390 milliseconds is quite fast. You can see some of them up here is 1350 milliseconds. So that would be quite slow. Obviously it's more costly, but a GPT 5.1 would be a lot smarter, so it would be able to handle a lot more complex situations. For us, it's a simple real estate agent where you just have to go back and forth with leads. It's pretty simple, so we can use a cheaper model that's not as smart. So I tend to go with GPT-4 or mini clusters for any build that's not overly complex and that a voice agent could handle without getting too many different responses. Now, the next thing we need to do is set this so the assistant speaks first. That's pretty self-explanatory. The assistant is going to speak whenever it answers a call. And for us, we'll set the first message as, hello, this is Red Rock Real Estate. How can I help? In this prompt, again, I'm going to leave it below in the first link so you can download it completely. But you can see here we give it an identity and a role. Then we say always use contractions. So that's basically kind of telling it how to act like a human. We also say your tool, you have one tool which is called AI Agent. And this does two things. It searches for properties and it books viewings, just like I showed you in the demo at the start of this video. When we search for properties, trigger the tool search when somebody asks about a specific property, when they ask if it's available, or somebody gives you a search criteria like location, price, bedrooms, etc. So that's when it's going to search for properties. As we go down here, it's just a little bit more info on when to search for properties and what to say when you're searching for them. Then also down here we have when to book viewings. For viewings you need 5 things. Firstly, we need their name, phone number, email address, property address, and the day and time that they want to view this property. Once we have all 5 of these, then you can immediately trigger the AI agent tool. Then we go down here, we just give it some stuff on how to pronounce stuff, like how to pronounce street, how to pronounce numbers, etc. Just to make it sound more natural and more human feeling. And we give it some error handling, some critical rules that we always wanted to follow, and then the most important rule is to always trigger the tool whenever we have gathered enough information. So once you can put that into your system prompt here, and that's the kind of biggest part of the voice agent already built. Then we're going to scroll down here to where it comes down to voice configuration, and this is where you're going to choose the voice or how you want your voice agent to sound. So for me, I like to use 11 Labs. I think that's the best one. You can use VAPI, it's very simple. VAPI has some pretty good voices as well, but for me, I use 11 Labs, and I find a voice in the accent of the country that I will be selling this AI agent in. So for example, this is for a US based real estate agent, so I'll go over to 11 Labs. I would have a look at the voices that they have, which are US and that sound human and realistic, not like a podcaster or not like a super artificial sound. I want a natural sound, and that's when I'll choose the voice for, and I'll bring that voice over and I'll just throw the ID in here. You'll see that on 11 Labs. The model which 11 Labs is going to use, we're going to use 11 Turbo 2.5. Then the last thing you need to do over here is come down here to transcriber, and I think DeepGram is the best one, so I've selected DeepGram and I've used Nova 3, which is their latest release and tends to be their quickest one. Now that's basically the full voice agent built. We just need to click publish over here, publish, and now this voice agent is ready to be used. Now, in order to give it access to that tool so it can trigger N8N, we need to do one thing over here in the tools section. So I'm going to come over here to tools, and as you can see, I have an AI agent tool over here in which we're going to use. So to create a tool, obviously come up here, press create tool, press custom tool, and you can give it a name like I have, which is AI agent, and then you'll give your tool a description. I already have this built, so I'll just get rid of this one, and we'll go into the one that I've already built, which is AI agent. And in the tool description, I say this is a tool to trigger the AI agent to get property details and book viewings. Then down here, we need to add in parameters. I've added in all of these parameters as this is what we need when we are using the AI agent over in N8N. First thing you need to do is come up here and press add property, and in this add property section you need to put in a name and a description of what you want to extract from the call. So you can see up here in the first property I have the name as type. It's going to be string. All of the properties that we use in this video are going to be string, and the description is this is the type of tool call, which is either get property details or booking viewing. So now the AI agent, so now VAPI is going to know when we are sending over information to N8N, it's going to send over in the type section either booking or viewing, so the AI agent knows directly which type of thing we are doing with this. Are we getting details or are we booking them in for a view? I'm going to click apply to this, and that's going to save that. We're always going to make this required. So down here, I'm going to select required. So the AI, so VAPI is always sending this over to N8N. The next thing we have is booking name, in which I call it just booking name, again string, and we say this is the name of the booking. We can apply this. Booking email, and we say this is the email for the booking. So this is whenever somebody wants to book. We have booking details, so this is any relevant details about the booking, and the caller. This is any relevant details about the booking and the caller that the real estate agent could find useful. We click apply on that. We have the booking address, so what address does the user actually want to view, and we say booking address, this is the address for the booking. Excuse all of the bad spelling. And then for the property search details, this is whenever somebody wants to actually search for details. So maybe if they say, hey, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom property in West Yorkshire, I'm looking for a 5-bedroom house in Texas, this is the type of parameter that VAPI is going to send over. So it's going to say property search details. If the user wants to search for a property like details, beds, bath, etc., here is where you will put that info so we can query the backend database to find the properties with the closest parameters to this input. We're going to click apply, and when we click apply, then we're going to make sure to click save up here so it doesn't cancel everything out. And down here we need to put in a server URL, and this server URL is just going to be a simple VAPI webhook. So the next thing we need to do is we need to come over here to VAPI, and we need to create this workflow. We don't need to create the full workflow yet, we just need to create this webhook so we can get it and we can bring it back over to N8N. So I'm going to come down here and create another one, and we're going to look for webhook, and in this webhook we're going to click this, and this is what we're going to use. For test purposes, I'm going to use the test URL, but if you were putting this on production and you wanted to not execute it every time that you wanted to run, then you would use the production URL and you'll copy this one. Now we need to make sure we come down here and select post, and when we select this as post, then I'm going to copy the test URL. I'm going to copy the test URL, and I'm going to bring it back over here to VAPI, and I'm going to drop that in here. So now VAPI has access to this tool. So if we want to test this, I can come over here and press execute workflow. I can come back over here to VAPI, and we can give this a quick test by pressing this button over here. I can press, and we can send the request, and as you can see, that request went through. Come back over here to VAPI, and you can see we received that test request. So now we know that this works. We can start creating the rest of this AI agent. So I'm going to bring this back up here. I'm going to connect it to this AI agent, and we are now nearly ready to go with this. So we need to come back over here to VAPI firstly. We know that this is connected and it's sending information over. So we're going to click save. We're going to come back over to the assistant that we've just built, which is this one right here. We're going to come over to this tool section, and we're going to give it access to that tool that we've just created. Now this is so important. There's been so many times where I've been building a voice agent and I've created a tool and I haven't given it access to it, and then I'm trying to figure out why it's not working for hours, and the real reason was I just haven't given the AI assistant access to the tool. So come over here, select the tool that you've just built, which is this one. I'm going to press publish up here, and now this system is ready to go. To build out the rest of this, I'm going to firstly make sure I trigger this, and I'm going to do a test call so we can get some information over here that we might receive. So I'm going to execute this workflow. I'm going to come over here to VAPI, and I'm going to trigger this tool so we can see the information that we receive.
This is Red Rock Real Estate. How can I help?
Can I book a viewing for Westheimer Road?
Sure. I need a bit more info to help with that. Can you provide your full name, phone number, email address, and what day and time you'd like to view it?
Yeah, my full name is John. My phone number is 123456778. My email address is john@gmail.com, and I would like to book it to view for tomorrow at 2 p.m.
I still need a complete address, like a street number.
Yeah, it's 12344
Could you provide that?
1234 Westheimer Road.
Great, thanks. Just to confirm, you want to book a viewing for 1234 Westheimer Road tomorrow at 2 p.m., right?
Yeah.
Can you provide your phone number? Perfect. I just need your phone number one more time, as it seems I didn't get it right before.
It's 12345678.
I'll go ahead and book that viewing now. One moment.
Okay, so that's all we needed. All we needed was it to trigger so we can see what the responses is. So you can see down here, We have the type, which is to book a viewing, the name, John, email, the address he wants to view, the booking details, and the booking phone number. So that's all we need. We can now pin that information. So we can come up here, press pin the information, so we can use it in the following node, which is the AI agent. So the next node is an AI agent, and in here we have a prompt in which we say, you're a real estate agent backend 2 responsible for taking action on behalf of a voice agent. You have access to 3 tools. The send email tool, which will send emails to the real estate agent whenever there is a confirmed viewing booked. You have the Google Sheet tool, which contains all property addresses, so you can determine which property the user is asking about or which property they want to book a viewing for. And you have the calendar tool, which is used to book people into the calendar when the call type is the viewing. So whenever somebody wants to book a viewing, we're going to use that calendar tool to book them in. We give it some information on how to use the tools efficiently, and we give it the output style in which it will go into, just to give it more information so we reduce the amount of errors that we receive. And we say you don't have to output JSON, just make sure your text output won't return any syntax errors when we're using it. So that's just some information on how to properly output for VAPI. Again, I'll leave this below so you don't have to write it out yourself. You can just download everything that I do in this. And then up here is where we give the information from the actual call. So you can see here, we say the tool call type is, and then we come over here, obviously close headers. We'll say the tool call type is, and we'll put in type up here. So we'll bring up the type and we'll put it in here. Then we say the get search property details. That is not, we don't have that right now, and you can see it's in red because we're not searching for call details in this right now. You can see the tool call type of this one is to book a viewing, so we're not going to have the search details in here. The search details is going to be stuff like 3-bed, 4-bath property in Texas. We're not going to have them details when we are looking for when somebody wants to book a viewing. But if this somebody called and said, hey, can you search for a property which is 2-bed in Texas, then we won't have all of this information, which is the viewings information, but we will have this one. Now the AI agent is going to know which one of these to use, because if this is all blank and up here says get property info and all we have is property details, then it's going to know exactly that, okay, this person is not booking a viewing, they want to get property details. So that's why we use this, even though it's in red, is because when we trigger this tool and when they just want to search for property details, then it's going to use this up here. Down here, booking details. So this is obviously if the user wants to book a viewing, and we bring over the booking details. We have booking name, we bring over the name, drop it in there. We have booking email, we have booking address, and we have the booking time, in which we bring all of this over and we just drop it in here. We said if any of the above are empty, then ignore unless required. So now we have all of the information. We have the prompt down here, and we give it all of the information from the call up here. And we need to give it access to 3 tools. So firstly, we need to create a chat model, in which we'll come down here, select the chat model, and for me, I have used Gemini, as you can see down here. Gemini 2.5 Flash, as it tends to be the quickest, but also the one that retains the most amount of context and is smart enough to handle all of these different tools. So I use Gemini 2.5 Flash. Then down here, we give it access to 3 tools. First tool is going to be this Google Calendar tool. It's going to be an event, and it's going to be create an event. And in here, we're going to select the calendar by just using this drop down and selecting the calendar I have. And we're going to create a start time and end time, and we're just going to let AI decide this. So if you click this button over here, then it's going to be defined automatically by the model or by the AI agent. So the start time, the end time is going to be defined by AI. We're going to come down here and select add attendees, and we're going to again make this defined by AI. And then down here in the add field, we'll also add a description and a location. And again, just both of these are going to be defined by AI. So the AI agent is going to know from the inputs what's the start time, what's the end time, who do I need to add as an attendee to this meeting. Then secondly, over here we have a send a message. Message is for whenever somebody's booked in for a viewing, we receive the email like we did at the start of this video, letting the real estate agent know that somebody has booked in for a viewing of that property. So if we come back over here, we connect it up to our Gmail account, we select set automatically, and we make this operation message and send. We want to send a message. It's always going to go to the same person, so we don't need to let AI decide. We're always going to send it to me or to the real estate agent. And we are going to select the subject. We're going to let AI decide. And the email type is going to be text. and we're going to let the AI decide that as well. Now the last thing we need to add to this AI agent before we finish up in this video is we need to add a Google Sheets node. Now before we need to add this Google Sheets, we need to come over here to Google Sheets and create mock data like this, which again I leave below, so you don't even have to create this, you'll have this already built for you. And in here we're going to put address, beds, baths, price, square feet and description of this property. So this is basically just a mock of what sometimes real estate agents would use to manage their properties. And in here you can see we have a bunch of properties, beds, baths, price, etc. We're giving this the name Red Rock Properties, and then when we come back over here to N8N, then we'll click search properties. We'll search for a Google Sheet, so we'll come down here, use the tool, and we'll come over here and search for a Google Sheet, just like the rest of the tools. We'll click that. We get the tool, then we'll come in here, we'll select set automatically. We need to set the operation to get rows, and we are going to choose that sheet that we've just made, which is Red Rock Properties. It's going to leave at that. So this is essentially just going to return every single property in this table, and the AI is going to know from the input of what the user is asking about which property that they are asking about. Is because the AI is going to have access to all of these properties, so it can compare what the user is asking about to this table and decide which property they want to recommend or which property they want to book them in for a viewing for. And now that's basically the full build done. We just need to create a respond to webhook node. Now what I didn't mention is over here in the webhook node, we need to change this from respond, we need to change using respond to webhook node. So that's, instead of responding immediately, it's going to take in the VAPI input, it's going to process it with AI and do what it needs to do, and then it's going to respond with the webhook. Now this respond to webhook node, we just need to type in this. So we need to put in this, we say results, this is just JSON that VAPI expects. So if you don't do this, VAPI won't accept the response back. So when the AI agent responds back to VAPI, you're just going to get an error. So you need to come in here and you need to put in this results tool call ID, and you need to put in the tool call ID from the webhook, in which you'll get if you close the headers and come over here to where it says tool calls. So you can see it says tool calls up here. Come down here, find the tool call ID and drop it in there. So we have the tool call ID, and then over here for the results, we're going to use the AI output, and we're going to put this at the start of it, JSON.stringify. So if we quickly do a quick test one, if I run this AI agent, if we come over here, then we can see that we have the output from the AI, in which I'm just going to drop in here. So if I get rid of this, and I drop the AI output right here, we need to do two things with this. Firstly, we need to come in here inside these brackets, and we need to type in exactly this, JSON dot remove all caps and put in stringify, and then you're going to put two small brackets. So you're going to put a bracket here and a bracket at the end of this, and you'll see it will turn from red into green. And what that is doing is it's turning the AI output into a JSON string, which is what VAPI requires. So that's basically the full build done. I can save this now. I can run a quick test on this right now. I'm going to unpin this, and I'm going to execute this workflow. I'm going to come back over here to VAPI, and I'm going to give it another call, and let's try and book in for tomorrow at 3 p.m. So this slot right here.
This is Red Rock Real Estate. How can I help?
Hi, I was wondering, can I book a viewing for one of your properties? Actually, firstly, can you tell me a little bit more about your property, which is 7702 Kirby Drive?
The property at 7702 Kirby Drive has one bedroom, one bath, and is priced at $1,995,000.
Okay, so if I just end that call, you can see what it just did there. So it came over to VAPI, it sent over that tool call request. The VAPI agent triggered that tool call request, and over here the AI agent processed the response, got all of the details back from Google Sheet. So you can see in here, if we go into the table, it returned every sheet from the Google Sheet. The AI agent was able to see all of the addresses, and then it created a response and sent it back over saying, here's the output, which is all of the details about that address. And if we come in here, we can see the input that came in, and we can see the input this time only has the get property details as the type, and we have the property search details. So if we come back over here, you can see that the rest of these are red, just like I mentioned at the start of this video. The rest of these are red, and we just have the details that we actually need. So we have the tool call type request, which is get property details, and the details that we need to get. So the address that we need to get the details for. Now, if we try to trigger another call and we only want to book a viewing, then it's going to use all of these, and this one is going to be red, and this is going to change from get property details to book a viewing. So we can do that right now. Give it another test. So I'm going to execute this workflow, come back over here, and we're going to talk to the assistant.
This is Red Rock Real Estate. How can I help?
Hi, can I book a viewing for 2210 Heights Boulevard? I'd like to book it for tomorrow in the morning around 11 a.m.
I'll need a few more details to book that viewing. Can I have your full name, phone number, and email address, please?
Yeah, my name is John. My phone number is 123456778, and my email address is demo@workreadyai.com.
Thanks, John. I just need the specific address for the property, and can you confirm if you want it for tomorrow at 11 a.m.?
Yeah, the address is 2210 Heights Boulevard, and yes, tomorrow at 11 a.m. is perfect.
Just to confirm, you said 2210 Hunt Boulevard, not Heights Boulevard, right?
No, it's Heights Boulevard.
Got it. Just to recap, property address, 2210 Heights Boulevard. Day, tomorrow. Time, 11 a.m. Name, John. Email, demo@workreadyai.com. Perfect. I'll get that booked. Sorry, a few more seconds. I've got you down.
Okay, so we can hang up that call, and you can see whenever we want to book a viewing, it's going to add it into the calendar, send the real estate agent the address or the lead details, and it's going to respond back. And if we now come in here and we check the input, you can see the input is different this time. It says book viewings as a type, and it gives us all these details. And we can see in the AI agent that the input, if we click in here, you can see that this one is red now, and the rest of these we have all of the details for these ones. So that's exactly how this works and how it's able to do 2 calls within the one AI agent. And we can again come over all the details. We have the email with all of the details on that lead, and that's basically the full build done. So I'm going to leave all of the details below in the second link in the description, where you can download all of the prompts to JSON for this N8N file and everything you need to know. Also, if you want to join my community where I teach people how to scale their AI automation agency, from all of my experience, I've scaled my agency to over 100k per month. So if you want to learn from me and from my team, then click the first link in the description, and I'll show you exactly how we do it and what we do within our business. But make sure to leave a like and comment if you want to see more videos, or leave a comment of what you want to actually see. And that's going to be it for this video.